Well, I think a lot of the potential policies and the potential actions that we need have theoretically been agreed, but they haven't yet been implemented. And if you go back a few years, the new Labour government, for the first time, published a skills strategy. It was followed up a year later by a modified skills strategy, which is even better, so that was fine. But it's all got a bit quiet. But one of the key elements in that skills strategy was the concept of a three-way responsibility for the funding of training. The government funding, employer funding and individual funding. And they were very brave to actually propose what everyone who's in the game knows must happen, but it hasn't yet been progressed. So I would say, and it's going to be difficult in recession, but in some respects it becomes even more important when finances get tighter and tighter, to have a real understanding, about the value of training to individuals, the value of training to companies, and the value of training and skill development to the economy as a whole. Try to actually articulate that into three chunks and make it quite clear then who is responsible for the different elements. And I think that debate will start to throw up some realities which are hidden at the moment. People say that the government pay for apprenticeships. No, they don't. The government contribute to apprenticeships. They never have paid for apprenticeships, nor should they. It is the employer's responsibility to train his or her staff to do the work that they do or don't make profits from. The government, however, say there's an element there of portability, of transferability, which is a benefit to the individual. We'll pay for that bit. We'll get them up to a basic level, basic skills. Make sure the training is broad enough to move them between companies in a sector, even between sectors. They'll contribute to that. And it was the start of a debate which started to say, well, employers pay for that, we'll pay for that. Individuals, especially as they get a bit older sometimes, should actually contribute to their own career development. Now, that debate has stopped, and I think it needs to be started very quickly. I think you can get an awful lot of support from the three constituent players, because I think the logic is in there, and it helps the government then in difficult financial times to make it quite clear that they're going to pay for, they must fill in the answer, but should we say basic skills, which is a high priority for them, getting people up to their first level 2, which they basically say, and whatever, they can define that and make it quite clear that is what we'll do, but employers must do this, and there's other elements here of personal development for personal gain, where they expect the individual to contribute. Now, it's not easy, but the skills strategies of 4 or 5 years ago floated the concept. The concept is right. It's got stuck in the sands because it's hard. I would say, get it out the sands, start the debate, and I think that could have a massive impact behind some of the successful marketing that's gone on in recent years, persuading individuals and companies that training is good for you and an investment worth making. Pull that lot together, and it's not easy, but I think the answer's in there somewhere.